Madonna had a concert 2 years before that, and the crowd goers actually trashed the ground so much, the Romanian government said, we're not going to have another event here, a public event. And then they heard about what Mat2 wanted to do, and they said, one, we'd like Mat2 to have an office here, and two, we'd like Mat2 to have their event here and for free. And so that's just some highlights. There's many more highlights. People can see it on the website, themist.org, and you can find it on Mat2's website as well. But it was a success, and we're just really looking forward to what next year is going to happen with the Olympics and linking to the Olympics in England, and so it'll be neat.
Yeah, this seems to be a lot of things going on. Do you get everything for free, or you have somebody funding, or do you get government funding, or just public support?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yes, things definitely cost money when it comes to the plane tickets, to trying to get a venue. Some venues have been free, like the one in Bucharest. Some have costed a little bit of money. Our staff right now within Mat2 is completely voluntary. I mean, we pay a little bit of stipends for the help. We have the most amazing people from the former TV executives from ABC, Disney, to Chief Development Officer of the Red Cross, to people from MIT. It's just and people that are willing to ask their dad for a birthday present to fly them around the U.S. so that they can film what Mat2 is doing. It's just incredible people that we have. And so, yeah, because of that, we're able to do this. We don't have any government funding yet. We haven't really sought it out yet. We're quite a new organization, and we do foresee ourselves as, and right now it's been privately funded, all by people's donations and my credit card. Actually, I didn't mention, but when I first started Mat2, I needed seed capital. I needed some funds to start this. And I looked at my driveway and I saw my Prius. And so I put that thing for sale and sold it and took that money and used that to invest in Mat2. I made some significant expense cost cutting in my wife and I's life, and that was really what helped get it off the ground. Yeah, and it's been a neat ride, and it's just neat to see other people come around and believe in this. Yeah.
And then your organization seems to be providing awareness. Do you offer any kind of support for victims or survivors, or are you supporting any victim right now?
That's a great question. When it comes to Mat2, because we really try to focus on getting men involved in this movement and educating men, it's something that we don't feel comfortable having men managing transitional homes, men providing aftercare, men doing outreach. We don't do that for obvious reasons. But what we are very happy to provide is men, when a survivor gets out of that lifestyle and they're ready to go in the workforce, we're developing some initiatives to have men can do job mentoring in the right context. Men can provide jobs for them. Men can sit on the boards of other organizations. So we don't directly provide services for these individuals just for the sake of integrity. But we do support trafficking organizations, anti-trafficking organizations that are supplying direct services. Some of our donations through our summer tour, we allocated portions of that to the organizations in those different countries and those different cities, just as a thank you for what you're doing. Because as men, we don't feel like we should be doing those three things, transitional housing, aftercare, outreach, but we want to thank them for doing it, and we provide portions of the donations.
You said you have educated 73 offenders, and those offenders, are they traffickers? And what kind of education are you giving to those kind of people?
Yeah, actually, now it's closer to about 100 offenders that we've educated. And where that's coming, so the offenders are men who have solicited sex from prostituted individuals. So they're not traffickers. And where we educate them are places called John School. So the name John is referred to men who have been caught soliciting sex, or just those that solicit sex. And so in John schools, where men are mandated to attend an 8-hour course to learn about the myths and realities of human trafficking, Mat2 is a presence in those John schools to educate these men. And it's a really neat angle where these John schools have, they'll have a lawyer come in, they'll have a public health person come in, they'll have survivors come in and talk. And what MAT 2 is really our forte, in many regards, is just educating men on the myths and realities. And so we'll bring out a lot of numbers and statistics. And really, by the time we get done, like even halfway through our educational process, I mean, a third of the guys will have tears in their eyes because they did not understand the realities of trafficking. And that just goes to show the effectiveness. I mean, if these men are almost crying because of what they're hearing, that just goes to show that imagine MAT 2's message getting out to the general public for men that are kind of sitting on the fence and men that are absolutely opposed to it already. So that's, and we're hoping to educate more and more
Okay,
of
so
all kind of men.
How does the MAT 2 banner works, and why are you requiring only men to sign the banner?
Great question. So we have an initiative. It's the MAT 2 Global Banners. And what it is, it provides a means for men to show women that they do exist, that good men that do not want to exploit women in any regards, economically, sexually, but specifically sexually. And so what we do with these banners was the idea was we would like men to come up and sign this banner and make a commitment to refuse to exploit trafficking victims, to educate other men, and to continue to learn more about this subject. But as we're thinking about it, like, anybody could just sign their name to a banner and make a pledge and not live up to it. So it's like, well, let's up the ante a little bit. And so we require a minimum donation. Okay, so they're putting money where their mouth is. And in so doing, they're telling women that I'm willing to donate money to tell you that I will never pay money to exploit you. So it puts it up a little bit higher, but we don't even stop there. The men who sign their name to this, our banner, they are also agreeing that there's a 1% chance we're going to take all of the banner signees every year and just randomly select 1% of them. And we're going to check it with the local government, their names with the local government, to see if they've lived up to their commitment. And so now they're putting their name and their money where their mouth is. And it's a statement for women all around the world to see. And so we add all the different events that we went to this summer, and at an event that we had in May in Minnesota and in Spain, at the Demand Change Project, we had men sign this, and it was in front of survivors. And so we add all the different events that we went to this summer, and at an event that we had in May in Minnesota and in Spain, at the Demand Change Project, we had men sign this, and it was in front of survivors of trafficking and other women supporters. And what that does is now in this world with video and internet and media of all sorts, women around the world that are trapped in trafficking in Cambodia, in Uganda, in Holland, in Brazil, in Las Vegas, are now seeing men in video form and in picture form standing up to what's happening to them. And so it's a way, and not only that, the banners are going to be going, they go to red light districts, right outside of red light districts, and we'll just put it up. And we have peaceful them, we have just people sitting there, MAT 2 people sitting there, and we'll have Johns come up and say, what is this about? And we'll just gently say, why don't we just tell you a little bit about what's actually happening in this area that you don't know? We have women come up and say, what's this about? And we'll just tell them, we just want you to know that there are men out there who absolutely disagree with what's happening to you. And it's also used to put pressure on governments, because in Spain, prostitution is legal. And governments need to know that when these women come out and they say, you know what, I came from Romania, I thought I had a job as a waitress, and I'm being trafficked, I'm not able to get out. The government needs to know that. And so MAT 2 is using these banners to place pressure on the government, because women are coming out and talking to us. And it's also, these banners are to build a global stigma to show men that a real man saves, does not exploit.
Thank you. We're running out of time. So for people to contact you, do you have a number or any form of contact that they can use?
Yeah, we have a website, and that's www.mattoo.org. And our email is the only way you can reach us right now, is just via email, and that is contact@mattoo.org.
We are going to go to the news flash segment. You are going to be hearing about updates and news about human trafficking that is out there. So we have Rose today in the studio to tell you what is happening about human trafficking in the news. Stay tuned.
This is the news from Homeland Security. In national news, there has been a sting in Tampa, Florida prostitution ring. Charles Fox has been arrested and charged with 5 accounts of sex trafficking, among others. He ruled a home packed with young women he recruited from bars and restaurants, including Hooters and Applebee's. Detectives watched him drive the women to hotels and wait outside and collect the cash. And